Aloha shamans, and welcome to our little corner of the galaxy here in this dimensional space called EarthStar Spiritual Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. Thank you for joining us tonight. We try to meet on Tuesdays for Simply Shaman from 7 to 7:30. So I am Dale Stacy, my beautiful Wahine Jeanne is to my right, and we are both the Abbots of EarthStar Spiritual Center. So we've been doing this since 2002, so going on our 22nd year. So thank you for joining us as we discuss lots of things with shamanism, modern shamanism and cross-cultural shamanism. Okay. All right, so a topic tonight then. Let's talk about what is shamanism. So this is part 2 tonight. Okay. And this comes from, remember last week we did what is Ascension. Okay. So tonight we're going to do what is shamanism to answer that what question. Remember, we're guided by Aloha. That's all loving creator, love, oneness, heart path, and as above, so below. Okay. Sweetheart, want to say anything to them tonight?
Just welcome. And if you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you're doing that as well. So thanks for being here whenever you're here.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay. All right. So remember, about 2 weeks ago, I think it was January 23rd, if you want to go back to that video, we discussed what is Ascension. And basically, Ascension is, as you look at the book to the right, that's the first book in the Simply Shaman series. That was book number 1 that we had written in 2020. Okay, and it's available on Amazon. So that's the source we're pulling from tonight. So what is Ascension then? It's basically, imagine climbing those stairs. So every step you take is moving towards ascension. So how do we acquire that ascension? From 2 weeks ago, we discussed that ascension is love. Okay? So everything, if you can think love, if you can talk love, if you can feel love, if you can share love, if you can act with love, these are all singular steps along the ladder or the stairway to ascension. They are ascension. So basically, ascension is love or aloha. Good. Thank you, Tara, for joining us tonight. So much aloha to you. Coming from another state outside North Carolina. So thank you for being here. Very loyal watcher. So thank you for being here all the time. And I hope you got the message I sent today about our hula girl, Amanda, and her hula group down in Jacksonville. Okay. All right. So ascension then. What is ascension? We know it's love then. Every time we think, feel, see, hear, talk about love, we are ascending. Okay. So tonight then we want to go to the subject of what is shamanism, since we know what ascension is now. So what is shamanism? And basically, as we have talked about in recent videos, it's the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. So the mind gets us a picture, it creates a definition, and then the body, of course, works to make that definition, that picture happen. And then our spirit inspires us, and we have enough energy that our spirit helps us to create it. Okay? So that's the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. Now, Jeanne's got something to read also called The 6 Wise Men. Okay. All right, love, go ahead.
This is an Indian parable. And as I read it and you watch the screen with this little picture that Dale has here, as I tell you which person it is that's touching this elephant, concentrate on that little person and see if you can visualize that and feel what he's feeling. Okay. Okay, here we go. A wild animal had wandered into the village, and no one had seen this strange beast before. And the villagers were murmuring about its unusual shape and form. 6 wise blind men approached the animal to touch it and to provide their analyses. The first blind man touched the trunk and exclaimed, "This animal is a snake." The second wise man felt the ear and said, "It's a fan." The third blind man groped its leg and shouted, "This animal is a tree trunk." The fourth wise man felt the expanse of its side and stated, "It is definitely a wall." The fifth blind man grabbed its tail and said, "This animal is a paintbrush on a rope." The sixth wise man slid his hands along its tusk and proclaimed, "It is a mighty spear." The wise blind men argued among themselves and with the villagers, and a traveling man resting nearby witnessed the entire event. He approached the unruly crowd and the arguing wise men. "Peace, my brothers, for you are all correct."
Oh, thank you, love. Yes, beautiful image. So that's the allegory or the parable of the six wise men. So we know then when we think about shamanism, when we go back to that definition of what is shamanism then? It is the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. So when we think about the elephant and we think about all the hands that were on this elephant, they each had a different perspective. Yet, so we can imagine then, what if we use as a figurative image, what if we use the elephant as shamanism? And just imagine, depending on where you touch that elephant, depending, or if we had shamanism, and let's say we had many teachers. So depending on the teachers, they would have a different viewpoint, a different perspective of what shamanism is. Okay? So apparently shamanism could and may be anything and everything. And it applies, and it depends on how we apply this skill, this wisdom. What do we use and how do we use as far as shamanism goes? What kind of tools, right? What kind of perspectives, what kind of thoughts, words, actions do we incorporate when we want to learn and use shamanism? Okay.
Thank you, Lee.
Oh, hey, Kelly, thank you for being here tonight. Kelly's one of our local shamans, so thank you for being here, part of our beautiful tribe. Thank you so very much. And let's see, let me get Chiari's name up. Chiari, let's see, where'd you go? Oh, yeah, there we are. Yep. Aloha e kakao. Thank you. And we got another Facebook user. Thank you. Aloha so much for that. And Kelly, thank you for being here. Let me show you. There we go. A beautiful tribe. Hope you're doing great tonight. Good. And we got another Kelly popped in. So we got two Kellys. We're Kelly to square tonight. So that's great. Aloha, Kelly. I know you're busy. Thank you for joining us tonight. So our topic then is, what about shamanism? All right, let's go to another perspective. So we know it's the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. Jeanne just read you the story of the six wise men. So we know that depending on where you land with shamanism, who you study with, where you study, shamanism could mean many, many different things to many, many different people. Matter of fact, it could be you could have one teacher and you could have 10 students, but all 10 students would learn something different from that shaman teacher. It's just like parents. As parents, we parent our children, each of our children, we parent them in an unusual way, right? And sometimes they understand that when they get older, that yes, mom and dad really treated me this way, whereas the other siblings say, well, no, mom and dad did this way, right? So really, we are actually separate parents to our children, depending on how many we have. Okay? Oh, got another Facebook user. Aloha to you tonight. Thanks for joining us. Good. So shamanism then is very arbitrary, right? I mean, it depends who, what, when, and where. So here's a wonderful quote from Shakespeare, from Hamlet. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy, right? So we got to make sure that being a shaman, we want to try to make sure that we don't stay within this box. And we want to make sure that we stay open. We stay open in our mind. We stay open in our body. We stay open in our spirit. We're open with thoughts, open with our words, and open surely with our actions. Because shamanism really incorporates many, many philosophies and many, many perspectives. Okay, so let's get some 3D definitions. We want to let our mind decide what is shamanism. So if we had a general definition other than the harmony of mind, body, and spirit, we can say that shamanism is a synergy of thoughts, words, and actions to create or influence a reality. Okay? So a synergy, a mixture, a combination, thoughts, words, and actions. It could be just thoughts, or it could be just words, or it could be just be actions. It could be thoughts and just words. It could be thoughts and actions, and so on. Right? lots of combinations that we could use in order to come up with a definition for shamanism. Okay. I'll do that second.
So success is equal to effectiveness.
Yeah, so as shamans, we just simply want to be effective. And that way, as we use our shamanic wisdom, our shamanic actions and thoughts and words, we know that when we have an end result, we know whether we're successful or not. And who knows, we may not be successful every single time we try to create or influence a particular reality. Because those are called lessons. That's called learning, right? We learn what to do and what not to do. Maybe we were too overzealous with a particular aspect or perspective, or maybe we are underzealous with that aspect or perspective. So it helps us to tweak things, always checking our work, always making sure that perhaps there's another way that we could have been more efficient, more effective, and more successful in creating or influencing a reality. Now, with shamanism, especially Aloha shamanism, we're not in the business of controlling things. Remember, control is an ego perspective. We're working with and through the heart, with love, with aloha. Okay? And to us, aloha and love, that's the same word. It has the same meaning. Okay? So when we think about how we use our shamanism, then make sure we realize that it's always with and through love that we create or influence any type of reality. Okay. Oh, got another one from TRA. Let me pull that up, TRA. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Proverbs. A.L.O.H.A, Pauka, Ika, Ika, Halau, Okahi. Wow, that's a mouthful. Huh? Translation. All knowledge is not learned in just one school, meaning one can learn from many sources. Proverb, Ua, Ololoko, Ike, Aloha. Yes, healing comes from within through means of love. Thank you, Chiari. Great having some Hawaiian folks on the chat so we can share some of that Hawaiian speaking. But, for those, it's tough speaking that Hawaiian language because you almost have to pronounce every vowel. So you really have to train the tongue to move. So it takes a lot of practice for that. Yes. Matter of fact, Chiari, this was one of the chants and one of the proverbs we learned with our Hawaiian teacher, Serge Kahili King. In Kauai when we were there studying up with our Huna shamanism. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, wonderful. Good. Yeah. Okay, another perspective of shamanism is there's only one rule. Okay, and the rule is there are no rules. So understand the paradox of that. Understand the yin and yang of that. Okay, there are no rules. That's the only rule. Okay, good. So make sure we understand how we did. Oh,
in his southern accent.
Thank you, Tara. I know I speak a little bit of Southern Hawaiian, but that's okay. I think I got all the vowels in. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, speaking Southern Hawaii. That's what, whenever we would go to Hawaii, as we're walking along the street, sometimes I've got my hair slicked back with coconut oil because, I'm trying to catch a few rays and, just feeling the wind and I'm walking along and, exercising or something and tourists are everywhere. And I see some, I'm smiling because I'm happy I'm in Hawaii, right? So, tourists will come by and they'll ask me a question. And I guess they're expecting this Hawaiian Polynesian accent. And when I come across with this Southern accent, it's like they don't even hear what I just said. So I inevitably always have to repeat things twice. And then I have to let them know, well, I'm from Southern Hawaii. And of course, then that goes over their head and they don't understand that. But anyway, it's always fun being Hawaiian, speaking with people, especially with this Aloha accent. Our other Hawaiian teacher, Auntie Miley Napoleon of Waimea there on the Big Island, she was our Lomi Lomi teacher. So she always said, aloha y'all to us. So we always responded back, aloha y'all. She loved our Southern accent. So it's great doing that. All right, get back to our movement. So really, the only rule for shamanism is there are no rules. How's that? So that means what can you use? You can use anything and everything. Now, this does not mean there are not consequences to saying there are no rules, right? Let's say you're trying to manifest money You want to do that because you want to raise some money for something. You've got a project, an Aloha project for someone, or maybe a family needs some money and you want to donate to them. That doesn't mean that we use our shamanism to go and rob a bank, right? Because there are consequences, especially in 3D. And plus, just think, when you go and do that in a bank, you're causing fear amongst those folks. So we don't want to do that, since we're about Aloha shamanism. So make sure we understand when we say there are no rules, and the only rule is there is no rule. That doesn't mean that we don't have consequences for our actions and how we're thinking, how we're talking, and how we're acting. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah. But there are no rules. So remember, our only rule then is there are no rules, and our only focus then here is being successful with our Aloha shamanism. So what can we do to make it successful? If it wasn't 100% successful the time that we did it, then what can we do? How can we tweak it to make it even more successful, so it's 100% successful in either creating that reality or influencing that reality? Okay. All right, next thought form. Okay. Number one principle in Huna. Now, Huna is the Hawaiian shamanism, but it's also Hawaiian healing, Hawaiian energy work. Huna is many, many things. Just like Lomi Lomi is many, many things. Lomi Lomi massage is just not the physical massage. I mean, it's mind, body, and spirit. It's everything. It's clearing and cleansing and blessing, dancing. Lomi Lomi is so much. So just think, Huna is also so much. Even though the word means hidden or secret, it's not hidden or secret from the standpoint that the knowledge is not being shared. You know, the Hawaiians are very open-hearted people, and they share willingly with people who respect them and love them and want to know the Aloha way. They don't have any problems with sharing that. We've never experienced any kind of resistance to anyone wanting to share Aloha consciousness with us when we go there. Of course, we're very loving and very respectful also. Okay? So Huna then, the number one principle in Huna, there are 7 principles total. So the first one then, which goes along with our trying to define shamanism, is the world is what you think it is. Okay, so think about that just for a few seconds. The world is what you think it is. So when you think about that, the world is what you think it is. So is the world happy? Is your world, your reality happy, or is your world and reality sad? Are you sick? Or are you healthy? Do you feel great all the time? Okay? Do you not feel great all the time? Okay? Do you feel like you're educated? Or do you feel like you're undereducated? Do you feel like you're rich? Do you feel like you are poor? Right? So the world is what you think it is. So remember, you're such a powerful Aloha shaman because we're working from the heart here. Okay? So we work from the pu'uwai, right? Pu'uwai is heart in Hawaiian. So when we work from the pu'uwai, then, this heart vibration, this is where God, this is our soul or spirit, is right here in our hearts, right? So when we feel something and we define something and the heart takes on that definition, because remember, the heart knows there are no rules. It's whatever we decide is true for us. So if we take on that definition of something, then it's going to begin to vibrate with that, right? And just think, it vibrates anywhere from 60 to 90 times a minute. That's a lot of vibrations every single day, 24/7. So if we're thinking and if we're feeling that we're not feeling good, I'm sick, I'm not well, I'm afraid, I don't think I can do this, I just don't have any confidence, I just wish I had more money, I wish I had more friends, I wish I had more love, I wish I had chocolate ice cream, right? It could be anything. So those are the vibrations that are being given off. So be aware of that, be careful of that. Change the way you talk to yourself and talk to other people, the way you think, the way you act. So say that, yes, I am abundant in all things. I feel great. And I feel better and better with every breath and every heartbeat. That way we're constantly in a healing state and always being healed. Okay? I feel great. I feel fabulous. I look great. I look fabulous, right? I mean, we're not going around doing this from a narcissistic standpoint. We're just trying to prime our body, our energy field, to know that we are truly awesome, beautiful, and perfect. Okay. So just for a couple of seconds, just say that to yourself. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. Okay. And repeat with us. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. Now, place your hands right on your heart. Let's say that. Okay? And say that with the gusto of the heart. Truly believe it. Okay? I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. Now, notice that when you're saying this aloud like this, notice you can feel that vibration in your hand. Or just think that vibration is going right into your heart. Okay? So make sure you feel that heart with abundant and loving thoughts, words, and actions. Okay, now let's say that again, and be conscious of that vibration you feel in the heart, and knowing that what you're saying is going directly into the heart. Okay? I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. One more time. I am awesome. I am beautiful. I am perfect. Thank you so much. You know, you've got to aloha yourself. You know, make sure that your car has enough gas in it so that you can go around and have enough energy to help other people, right? So you make sure you have enough gas in you. You have enough love in you so that you can go out and be of service to others, because that's what aloha consciousness is all about, and especially being a shaman of aloha. Okay?
And this is how we create our own reality.
Yes, this is how we create our own reality. And we want to make sure we do this morning. We want to do it in the midday, mid-afternoon, all afternoon, evening, and night. Okay? In the morning when you get up, you're saying your blessings, your prayers, your chants. And as you go to bed at night, you're doing the same thing. Blessings, prayers, or chants. So you're programming your energy field, your aloha bubble, like we talked about this past Friday. So you may want to go look at that for the aloha bubble, okay, for healing and or wellness. So we want to make sure we program our energy field to always be on autopilot. So if we give it instructions, and this is how we don't have to stay focused on that all the time. Can you imagine if you had to be responsible for breathing all day long, or for your heart to beat all day long? It's a wonder that all these things happen within our body, or making red blood cells, or turning all the food we eat, the air that we breathe, turning it into energy, turning it into glucose so that we can feed our cells. We can give our mind mitochondria, right? The engines inside each one of our cells to make this wonderful energy, right? I mean, can you imagine if you had to consciously do that every day? I mean, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So thank goodness our one infinite creator has pre-programmed everything inside of us to do that. So anytime we find ourselves not feeling good, well, that goes against the default of who we are. So be the shaman of aloha and just change that with words, images, postures, right? Sit up straight, right? Quit slouching when, you know, you want to sit around and go, oh yeah, I do feel great today. Well, you know, what's your body going to do, right? It doesn't believe it, right? So sit up straight, walk with confidence, say, by God, I feel great today. Okay? And so you make sure you program your body to feel wonderful, because God wants us to be wonderful, because we are. We're awesome, we're beautiful, and we're perfect. Okay. So aloha shamanism. Good. All right. So next thing is, sweetheart, do that second. Oh, wait a minute. I skipped one. Let me go back. All things are arbitrary. Yeah. So when we think about all things being arbitrary, so think about things are arbitrary. That means there could be a perspective for each particular definition of something. Think about height. Does it matter that somebody's 5'2" or somebody's 6'4"? How about weight? What's the perfect weight, right? What's it supposed to be for a body? So in BMIs, we hear that, the body mass index, how much muscle we have, how much fat we have, how much water we have in the body. How about age? How about whether or not we have a pretty clothes or fashionable clothes, or maybe have clothes. I mean, nowadays we have clothes with holes in them and people buy them this way. Okay, so talk about arbitrary. How about antiques, right? Remember, one man's junk is another man's treasure and vice versa. So just think, somebody finds a piece of trash on the street that you've thrown away, an old dresser or something. Well, you know, the folks that are out scavenging, they'll come along on trash days and you'll see them with a trailer and they load that up because they may take it back and they may make it work again. They could sell it for antiques. You just don't want it anymore. Or maybe you threw out an old toaster oven, but somebody could come along because to you, that was just junk to you. But another person comes along and they fix the toaster oven and they're able to gift that to someone who needs one, right? So everything is arbitrary, every single thing. Your money, everything, every thought is arbitrary. Now, that doesn't mean it's not true. So make sure we don't, so please don't understand me saying everything is arbitrary, even though it is arbitrary, but now we're going into different rabbit holes. So make sure you understand that arbitrary can be true. It can be right. It can feel great, right? But each person has to define that for them. So just like in shamanism, we have to define what shamanism is for us. And then we define what is aloha shamanism. What is our heart shamanism, love shamanism? How do we express that? How do we work that? How do we influence that reality? 3 minutes. All right, let's get to another. All right, good. Do that second.
Shamanism is in every system.
Yes. So shamanism is or is in every system. Right? So think about every system around it, especially belief systems. Well, are they not the harmony of mind, body, and spirit? When, for instance, maybe we go to a church, we go to a religious or spiritual organization, are we not thinking about God with our mind? Do we not have an image of what's being taught, how we're able to use those particular philosophies? And do our bodies, we actually create that, right? When we say a prayer, we're saying a prayer mentally, right? But, you know, you often heard the phrase, you know, we got to put some feet on those prayers, right? We have to have some sweat unity, right? That's the unity of sweat is the unity of oneness, right? It brings us together, right? We work. We sweat, we make things happen. And then when we do that, we have this inspiration by spirit and helps us to create things. So think about educational systems, legal systems. All those are very arbitrary, right? And again, it doesn't mean they're not true. And it means that some are very valid. It depends on you, what your definition of that is. So shamanism is in every system then. All right, and then the last one then. So our focus then is Aloha shamanism. We want to focus on that because that's what we're here to do, to be shamans of Aloha and to be of service to others. You know, we have either service to self, and sometimes you have to do that. I mean, you know, you have to feed yourself, you have to bathe yourself, right? You have to drive yourself, take care of yourself, be relaxed, have a glass of tea, glass of coffee, glass of wine, depending on how hard the day is, right? You have to feed yourself the right foods. Maybe it's a salad today, maybe it's a steak tomorrow. So make sure you have to take care of yourself also. We just want to make sure we spend most of our time, because, you know, we're able to take care of ourselves and do these things by autopilot. We spend at least 51% of our time helping to serve others, because that's who we are. We're shamans of Ascension. We're shamans of Aloha consciousness in service to others. So that's our focus. Okay. Well, you did great tonight. Thank you for joining us. But let me just open up to you. And please, if you will, you know, click that like button, click the subscribe button. That way, if we have anything, we think we got something bright to say, we'll come on and do a video. Because even though we'll try to do Tuesday and Friday nights, but there may be other times that we have a guest can do it at another time, or we have another topic we'll bring up. But in the chat, if you will, if you think you've now arrived at a new definition of shamanism, let us know what is your definition of shamanism, and we can share that with the shamans that are here tonight. Okay? So what is your definition of shamanism? And another thing would be is, how can you use your Aloha shamanism? Okay? What would you do? Well, I mean, how do you define it, right? What is your definition of your Aloha shamanism, of Aloha? Okay? So share that with us in the chat, and then we'll let some other people look at that. Who knows? You may give someone a different perspective, a different definition. Anything else, love? Any closing thoughts?
No, when I think of shamanism and definition of shamanism, I guess I think of using our earth superpowers to serve others, because it really is about service to others.
Yes,
The Aloha consciousness is about service to others.
Yeah, and that's great with the earth superpowers, because remember, your earth superpowers, those are your abilities, your gifts, your goals, your powers, your skills, your talents. Okay? And it seems like we talk about that almost every video because it's a very important concept. When we, at the beginning of every year, a lot of us will do a so-called vision board, because these are things that we want to accomplish for this year. Places we want to travel, books we want to read. We also have, maybe we cut out little things of a magazine, we'll paste it on the paper, just to have a visual part to show us throughout the year. Yes, this is who I want to be. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to be doing. Now with earth superpowers, though, we don't have to think about who we want to be. Our focus with earth superpowers is, who are you right now? Because these are your innate skills that you brought into this incarnation. These are from many, many lifetimes, living in many, many worlds over many, many millennia. This is who you are. Remember, we are eternal, and we have done this many, many times. So when you bring in your earth superpowers, you bring that from all that collective of experiences you had over the many, many lifetimes you've lived. Okay? And now at this particular juncture, though, in our destiny, as we're ready to move into a 4D consciousness on Mother Earth, with Mother Earth herself moving there, we're going through this great dimensional shift, this density shift. So it is this lifetime that you have brought your best version of who you are to live out this lifetime now. So if you're a male, well, this was your best version to live out and do the things you want to accomplish. If you're female, this is your best version of who you could be to bring out all these wonderful things that you want to accomplish through that feminine perspective. Okay? So who we are now, what we do, you've lived your earth superpowers every day. So make sure you pay attention to how you do things, because everybody does things in different ways. Yes. And thank you, Tiara. Yes, that's wonderful. Wonderful definition of shamanism is embodying aloha by living aloha. Yes, living aloha by seeing, hearing, and feeling aloha in every moment. Because once we can see, hear, and feel it in every moment, then we can be the aloha in every moment. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Tiara. And Kelly's got one. Thank you, Kelly. So shamanism to me is using those innate skills to bring peacefulness and love into every situation, my work life and to my personal life. Yes, those innate skills, those earth superpowers that we all have. And to just think, to be able to bring those superpowers and to coalesce those powers with peacefulness, with love in every situation you find yourself. Okay? From work to family to friends, anything and everything, your personal meditation time to outward service time, service to others. So thank you for sharing it. Yes. So wonderful, wonderful definitions of shamanism. Okay? So remember, be the Aloha shaman in every moment. Okay? Find a way. Remember, love, the Aloha is always around us. So if you aren't feeling very loving at any particular time during the day, well, just stop. Take a deep breath. Use your senses, right? Look around, listen, feel, taste, smell. Use all your 5 senses and use that ESP, right? Use that psychic sense to kind of guide yourself around, above, below, within, without, all around, and know that love is there. Remember, love is like if you're in a boat and you fall into the water, that's because that water is love, right? You got to be around it. Love is around us all the time. You can't find a place where you're not. All right. And we got another definition of shamanism. Yeah. Trying to grow the light in yourself and others. Oh, wonderful thing. Yes. Beautiful. And what we talked about 2 weeks ago about what is ascension. Well, ascension is being the love, or thinking, speaking, or acting with love, with aloha, in every chance you can, because every time you do that, you go up one step towards ascension. So every one of those things you do are acts of ascension. And that's how we continue to do that. Okay? Yeah. And we definitely want to grow that light within us. Thank you for that. Oh, wait, we have another one here. Thank y'all. Aloha, y'all. Oh, thank you. Aloha, y'all. Good. Sending aloha from New Mexico. Wonderful. Yeah. Shamanism is Dale and Jeanne teaching me how to find chi and my hara. Hara is the navel chakra, okay? And spread it to others through healing. In one class, and has stayed with me for 25 years. Oh, thank you so very much. And glad to know that we're able to reach out to New Mexico. So we got a western direction. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you for sharing that. And Sassy, thank you for being here tonight. Sassy is our belly dancer shaman. So you may have to get up with her sometime, and we'll have an interview and do some belly dancing on here or something. Good. So, and mix it with some hula, perhaps with tiara. Who knows? Good. All right. Thank you, Sassy. Good. So thank you for being with us tonight. Remember, just try to be the aloha in every moment that you can. It's very easy. And once you continue to do that each and every day, you'll find that more opportunities present themselves, because that's what happens. When we find ourselves in aloha consciousness, opportunities are around every single second of our day. Okay? And remember, especially make sure you aloha yourself, because you are awesome, you are beautiful, and you are perfect. Because you all seen that T-shirt before. It says, I know I'm awesome, beautiful, and perfect, because God don't make no junk, right? So you know that God made every one of us, our one infinite creator, made all of us a beautiful diamond. So reflect that aspect of who you are, that unique expression. Okay? So have a great week. Click that like and subscribe, and much aloha to you. And thank you for being here. And see you Friday, right? Friday at 9 o'clock for Synergy Wellness and Shamanic Life Coaching. So if you have any questions, anything that have to do with wellness, anything to do with Shamanic Life Coaching, we can address those then. Okay? All right, so take care. Have a great week. Much aloha. Okay, going to do a pow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pow. Good. And aloha.